What's good, G fam? Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm doing a Q&A on pregnancy, postpartum, and labor and delivery. You guys asked some questions on Instagram and I am here to answer them, and hopefully this can help someone out going through pregnancy or labor and delivery soon or postpartum. So if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, send us a huge thumbs up, leave us a comment, and tell your family and friends about us. So while I'm talking, just so that you guys are not bored out of your minds, I'm gonna do my makeup. I'm gonna get ready. I don't necessarily have anywhere to go, so I'm gonna do something light. I'm gonna be doing some content today for my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, this is it. Make sure you go and follow. And yeah, let's get started. First things first, I am, how many weeks? 3 weeks postpartum now. I feel good. Getting better every single day. My parents have been here to help me most of the time. Obviously with 3 kids, it's a little bit crazy. This is like a crazy house and they're homeschooled. So it's a lot, but I'm getting used to it and I'm getting, better at organizing, and the baby is getting adjusted. She actually sleeps a lot, so it's not that bad. But let's get started with your questions. I don't want to make this too long. The first question was, which hospital did I give birth in? And for those of you that don't know, I'm actually in Miami, Florida. I gave birth in Miramar Hospital, Memorial. That's where I gave birth to all my kids. So I like that hospital. I like the staff. Question number 2 is, how is recovery the 3rd time around? So definitely harder. I feel like the older you get, the harder it is. The recovery the 3rd time around, I feel like as you get older, your body takes a little bit longer to do things, even though your body has muscle memory and it'll remember what exactly to do. It just might take a little bit longer. For me, it's taking a little bit longer this time, and it's a little bit more painful this time than I can remember my other 2 times. The next question is, which kid was the hardest? So I feel like my hardest labor was probably Ava. It was my first baby, and I didn't really know what I was doing or getting into. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what the pain was going to be like. I feel like Ava's was the worst because it was the first baby. And also I was in labor with Ava for 19 hours, guys, like in the hospital, because I had to get induced because she was not coming out. The next one is, how are the older kids adjusting? So it's a little bit hard because they are excited, they're happy, and they just want to be next to the baby 24/7. They don't realize how gentle they need to be with the baby. They just, and you guys don't judge me, I use the same brush for like all the things that I need to be doing. They don't realize how gentle they need to be. Like, they think it's a doll, and sometimes I feel like they forget that she can get hurt and things like that. So I have to be on top of them, and I have to like really have like 6 eyes on everybody because they don't really like understand. I think at first they were a little bit jealous because all the attention was on the baby. But as long as, we try to balance it out, they're fine. I'm gonna look crazy for a little bit, but whatever, you guys get the point. The next question was, for how long were you in labor? So with Aylin, I was in labor. I actually didn't know. I don't know when labor started because I went to sleep the night before and I kept waking up like in pain, but I thought that I was just like having Braxton Hicks. So I would ignore it. I would get up, I would feel the pain, and then I'll just like doze off and fall back asleep. And I was peeing a lot that night. So I was like, this is weird, because usually I wasn't really using the restroom that often. Like in my regular pregnancy, I wasn't using the restroom that often. So that night I was peeing a lot and I was like, this is weird. And I'm in a little bit, like I'm having cramps more than usual. So I just was like, right? Mind you, for Ava and for AJ, I never went into labor. They always had to induce me. So I never knew what it was to have contractions, like without being at the hospital and having them control like my pain. So I was just like, I don't know, like I'm having cramps, I'm fine. It was bearable. This was, so when I noticed that I was having the pain, it was midnight. So I was like, okay, it's midnight, whatever, let's see what happens. The pain kept on, but like I said, I kept going to sleep and I was fine. Wake up in the morning like I usually do to wake up the kids for school. It's 8 a.m. and I'm having the pain still. So I'm like, okay, this is weird because the pain never usually lasts this long, like hours. Usually when I was having the Braxton Hicks, it was like for like a couple minutes, I'll have like 5 and then that's it. For the rest of the day, I wouldn't have anything else. So I was like, damn, okay, they're kind of like, they're lasting. And I texted my dad. So I made coffee, I made the kids breakfast, like I went about my day, my morning, trying not to freak out because obviously Albert's at work. I'm by myself with the kids and I'm just like, I just need to chill. I didn't want to be alone just in case I had to run. My dad's like, okay, let me get dressed and let me go. So I don't know how this is coming out because I'm doing it on the phone, but y'all let me know. And the pain just starts getting more and more like strong. It gets stronger and stronger. I didn't know if I was in labor or not. I just was like, why am I getting this pain? To answer the question, because I know I just rambled on. I was in labor basically from midnight all the way until 4:55, basically, when the baby was born. So, but most of the labor, I was home. I got to the hospital at noon. And then it was like 11 something. So like at noon, I went to I was at the hospital. And then from noon to 4, that's how long I was in labor for at the hospital. Everything else was at home. So I really wanted to wait till the last minute because I didn't want to be sent back home. And even when I got there, they were like, okay, you're only 2 centimeters. So if nothing changes in an hour, you're going to go back home. And I was thinking like, how am I going to go back home? Because I'm in hella pain. Like 2 centimeters, 1 centimeter, whatever it is. Y'all need to do something because I can't take like I was in there like shaking. And I was like, I need to get up from this bed. So when they told me that if nothing changed in an hour, I was going to be sent back home, I got up from that bed, guys. And I started like doing rocking motions. I started like moving around. I started doing everything to try to bring the baby down more so that I didn't get sent home because I was in so much pain that I was like, if I get sent home, I'm gonna die. And then how's recovery going? It's going good. Obviously, just give your body time to heal. Everybody heals differently. Some some sooner than others. Like I mentioned, every other pregnancy before, I feel like I recovered a little bit faster. Than this time, but I'm just letting my body do its thing and not, doing too much. My parents are here, like I said, helping me, so I get to rest and things like that. But still, like, you just have a new baby, you always want to be up, you always want to be with the baby, you always want to be awake. So I really don't sleep, but I'm just taking it super slow, one day at a time. When my body's ready to get back into working out and things like that, then I will do it. But for right now, I'm just chilling. How did you deal with weight gain? So that's huge because I feel like being pregnant, it takes a lot. It takes a lot, and it takes a toll on your body, and it takes a toll on your mindset and your mentality about your body. With every single pregnancy, I've gotten from 150 or 160 that I usually am, which, you guys, a lot of you are gonna tell me, how the hell are you 150 or 160? Because I'm so small. But I lift a lot of weights, my muscles are big, and that's just what my weight is. Okay, so from 150 to 160, like good healthy weight, I get up to like 200 when I get pregnant. And always at the 200 mark is when my body's like, time to go. Like, you're not gonna get any bigger than this. Like, the baby needs to come out now. It's like my body can't even take it. So with all of them, at the weigh-in, I'm always like 200, 201. With Aylin, I was like 205. So I got the heaviest with her, which is crazy because I actually looked the smallest with her. But I had a lot of water weight. So I like to keep myself fit and I like to keep myself healthy. But I know that during pregnancy, I also like to be healthy, but I know that it's just a phase and a time where my body needs to just grow so that I can grow a baby. So it's a little hard on your mental though, because if you're used to being one way, your body changes so much when you're pregnant that you're just like, oh my God, it could be shocking. But I would just say, like, you know, work on your mindset and work on, you know, preparing yourself. And you don't have to gain like the 50 or 60 pounds like I did. You know what I mean? You can eat salads every day if you want, but I indulge. Like, everything tastes so much better when you're pregnant. Pain level from 1 to 10. 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so my pain with Aylin was insane. Because I waited so long to go to the hospital, I felt a lot of the pain. A lot of the pain that even when I got my epidural, it was like it didn't really work. I felt a lot of pain. Like, it's a pain that I can't even describe. So I can't sit here and tell you, but it's like above a 10. Like, it's close to like 15 or 20. Would you do the whole not knowing the gender all over again? So I'm probably not gonna have any more kids, so it doesn't matter at this point. But I would. I really liked and enjoyed the fact that I didn't know anything and nobody knew, and we were just like surprised. Someone else asked, how is breastfeeding going? So when I have the kids, they latch good, but my body just can't take it. My nipples get really sore. I was bleeding with Aylin, like bleeding from them. And I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to, like, I wanted to have her latched on and things like that. But she wasn't having enough milk because I wasn't feeding her enough. So I don't put her on my breast directly. I pump the milk out and I give it to her. The pump also makes you sore, and especially since I was bleeding and had scabs and stuff, just the fact that the pump now is like continuing to do it, you kind of don't really heal. Before, I was doing it every 2 hours to get my supply up. And then I got mastitis. So if you guys don't know what mastitis is, it's when your milk ducts get clogged and you get a fever, you get the shakes, it's basically like an infection. Your body fights it off or whatever. I took, ibuprofen for it and I got better. So I started spreading out my pump, and now I pump every 4 hours, and I'm making around like 6 ounces every 4 hours, and she drinks 2 to 3. So every 3 hours. Another question was, did you get an epidural? And yes, I did. How was your experience? My experience with the epidural is always a little bit scary because the needle is big and you cannot move. Like, if you move just the slightest bit while they're putting that needle in your back, you could literally get paralyzed. So it's a little nerve-wracking. And it takes like 30 minutes. Your spouse cannot be in the room when you're doing it. So you're by yourself. Mind you, I was already having really strong contractions by the time the anesthesiologist came in. So I had to fight through the contractions. Like, he had to do it right after a contraction so that I wouldn't like jump. And I still did a little bit. And it's a little bit painful, but at the moment you're just like, just do it because I'm in pain. How many days was your hospital stay? So my hospital stay was actually, so I was there the day I gave birth, a day after, and then the day after that I left. So like 2 days and half a day, because it takes like a little while. You do a bunch of paperwork and you do a whole bunch of stuff, but they got us out pretty quickly. I'm assuming it's because of COVID, because the other 2 pregnancies, I feel like they took longer to discharge me for those 2 pregnancies. It was just like they wanted to keep you there a little bit longer and like make you wait, and no one was really prioritizing the fact that you wanted to go home. But this time it was like this. Like, do you already have to have a pediatric appointment set at discharge? So yes, I believe that with all 3 kids, they asked me who the pediatrician was going to be. They contacted that pediatrician. The pediatrician then comes to your to the hospital where you are, and they check the baby and they tell you when you have to go for your first visit. So, and then the hospital also like requires to know. So at what point was your husband let in the hospital? My husband was let in the hospital once I was gonna get admitted to the room. So once I was gonna go to the room, he was in the lobby area. So we walked, no, I was in the chair. We went by there to get on the elevator, and he was in the lobby. So they called him to come, and we walked together upstairs. So after that point, he was with me the whole time up until we had to do the epidural. He had to step out for about an hour, and then he was let back in. So, and then after that, he was with me the entire time. He wasn't allowed to leave, or no one else was allowed to come inside. And then how long were you in the labor and delivery triage before being admitted? So I was in there probably like 2 hours before I was admitted into my room, because I had to wait, because when I got there, I was dilated 2 centimeters only. So they were like, we need you to be at least 3 centimeters. So if nothing happens in an hour, we're going to send you back home. And then how many minutes apart were your contractions before going to the hospital? So at first they were like, when I first noticed that I was having contractions and I was in labor, they were 7 minutes apart. Then they were 5 minutes, then they were 3 minutes. And then at the mark where they were 3 minutes apart, my mom was like, you have to go. It was an experience that I didn't think that I would go through. And I would tell the doctor all the time, I'm like, I always make it till the end. My water never breaks. I make it to my due date. These babies stay in here. And Chiquis was like, no, I'm coming a week early. You're going to know what the pain is. You're going to know what this is. Because I didn't know what it was before. I was always like induced, had the epidural on deck, and I was fine. I didn't have pain like how I had with this baby. You guys keep asking me who the doctor is, and the doctor is Dr. Martinez. I know a lot of you actually have been seen by him. It's crazy how small the world is. But I didn't know him. So that was my first encounter with him ever in my whole entire life, because I was with another doctor my whole pregnancy, a lady, and in that office, whoever's on call that day that you're there to give birth is the person who goes to deliver your baby. And I knew that. But since the doctor had, we were going to plan it, I was just going to be like, okay, so when is it you that's on call so you can deliver my baby? And I just always planned it. So I wasn't prepared for like, everything was just going not my way. The baby came early. I didn't know the doctor. The nurse was mean. Albert couldn't come inside. But everything turned out good. Thank God. And our baby's here. She's healthy. I'm healthy. Everybody's okay. And the doctor surprisingly was really, really, really nice. He was funny, even though I didn't think it was funny at the moment, but he was funny. He was trying to lighten up the mood. Being pregnant is the part where you should take the time to read, to ask questions, to prepare yourself, because once you have this baby, so many other things happen that you can get overwhelmed. But since it's my 3rd baby, it's not my first rodeo, I'm doing okay. It is my first baby in a long time though, so I forgot what it was like. Look at these bags. I forgot what it was like to not sleep. Forgot what it was like to have to feed every certain time, change diapers. Good thing I was blessed with a really good baby. She doesn't cry. She doesn't, she's not super fussy, none of that stuff. And then let me know in the comments, what else do you guys want to see? If you have any other questions. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for sending me the questions. And if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a huge thumbs up, and share with your family and friends. Bye.